What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. And with me, my partner here on Running the Ropes, the new show that we do here on Joe Cronin Show and Dead on Dave Productions. The one, the only, Jesse J. What's going on, buddy?
A whole lot of mediocrity.
Is that the new Jerry Lewis song? The one that didn't quite catch on? Whole lot of mediocrity going on?
Jesus.
Yes, I did a Jerry Lee Lewis song or reference. Yeah, how you like me now?
If you do a song, I'll see that. No, I don't know.
I'm gonna marry my cousin. Hey, if my cousin looked like Winona Ryder, I don't know.
That's what I'd ask Jim Cornette. You ever fucked your cousin? Well, yeah, I have, haven't you? No, never mind.
No, you don't ask if you fucked your cousin. You ask how many cousins did you fuck, Jim Cornette. That's the real question. But like I said, welcome to Running the Ropes, the show where we go through some of the most important and crazy moments in the history of wrestling, and we break them down, shit on them, talk about them, whatever. Because Jesse can't normally just talk about things. Usually, he has to be mean. I don't know why.
Yeah, you caught me.
I got you with your pants down. But today we got a really special one. I'm excited about this one. Should be a lot of fun because it's two historic moments wrapped into one. So it's really simple. I could say one date and almost everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you're probably in the wrong place because we're all a bunch of freaks here.
Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe you're in the right place because we're going to fill you in on it.
We're going to give you some knowledge you didn't know, but I mean, like, how many people who don't know what this is that would be watching this show? You know what I mean? It's like you're watching a fat guy on not a couch anymore. Now I'm up against the wall with my T-shirt in the background and a picture of Jesse, and we're going to talk about wrestling. So I highly doubt that a 5-year-old who just got done watching Barney is being like, let's watch this guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Cronin gets a lot of those calls.
That's true.
Are you guys doing a show?
What are you talking about? Real simple, Jesse. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say January 4th, 1999?
I don't know. No.
Well, I'll tell you.
No, it's funny enough, it should be this night, but it makes me think of Rock Bottom and that whole era. I'm sorry, that whole time because between Rock Bottom and Royal Rumble.
Yeah, well, no, that's completely fair. What happened on that day changed wrestling in a lot of ways. Something happened that nobody thought could happen. Something happened that normally doesn't happen. And then something happened that blows people's minds. Let's start with, in chronological order, Monday Nitro goes on the air, which something they were getting in the habit of doing, going about 5 minutes early than Monday Night Raw to give away the entire spoilers of Monday Night Raw. So that's what they do. They go on and they say, well, this guy's beating this guy. And then, in the main event, their world championship is changing titles, changing hands. It's going to a guy who used to wrestle here by the name of Cactus Jack. And then Tony Schiavone then uttered the very famous words, "Yeah, that'll put butts in the seats." Yeah, what a dick. But and now there's been just on that. You could do a show on that because there's been so much controversy. Mick Foley took it really hard because Raw was taped at the time. So when he watched it back, and he just felt so betrayed. It was a night that was so special to him becoming the WWF champion. He felt it got cheapened because of that remark by Tony Schiavone, who was an actual friend of his. But as we know, Schiavone has come out and said that he was forced basically at gunpoint to say it, which I don't know if I believe. What about you, Jess?
I believe he wanted to keep his job.
I believe he wanted to keep his job. I agree with that, but I don't know.
Whether gunpoint or not, I don't think it took much coaxing. But I mean, I imagine he wanted to keep his job, so you say what you got to say.
I guess so, but a lot of people look at it different ways. Was it dirty? Was it wrong? I don't know. I mean, ethically, probably not. But hey, what are you gonna do? So Nitro goes on, and they're having their show. And remember, at the time, Nitro is still beating Monday Night Raw rather frequently. And I believe they were still beating them to that point for they were in the 18-month streak. I can't remember of just nonstop wins, or it might have been just after that where they were trading.
I was going to say it might have been after that because didn't WWE catch up in '98?
Yeah, I want to say that it was after the 18-month streak was broken, but then they were trading victories back and forth for a while, and then this night happened, and everything changed. So we had the announcement, and then Nitro went on doing their show, their standard show, and they were going to have their main event, which is it was going to be Kevin Nash, who just won the title, going against Hulk Hogan. So we had that huge event, and then we find out that Mick Foley indeed is getting a title shot, so they weren't bullshitting. It is happening. He's taking on The Rock in a no disqualifications match. So you have these two gigantic moments happening at the same time. When WWF was going to their main event, everybody switched over, like en masse. Mick Foley was able to see, he talks about in his book and talks about in other places, that you could see the ratings swing during that time. Like everybody came over to see Mick win the title. And so let's talk about that moment now, because that one was awesome.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. I didn't watch WCW, so. Not
just the fact that he won it, but the how that he won it. He had a great match with The Rock. It was no holds barred. Was it no holds barred?
You know what? I almost think it was. Was it a fucking? Wasn't a ladder. It was no holds barred. I was going to say it was a ladder match.
I don't think it was no. Because I remember both factions were on the outside. The Corporation was on one side, and DX was on the other. And then Shamrock, I think, you know what? It wasn't no holds barred.
It was no holds barred because Steve, the whole ending
because
of it.
Shamrock got involved first. I remember he got involved, finally got involved, and then DX got involved. But I think the ref got knocked out, if I remember it correctly. And then the music hits, the glass breaks, and out comes Austin. And he doesn't even hit a stunner. He hits Rock with a chair, right?
Yeah, yep.
Hits him with a chair
on top of him, and
then the ref comes over and wakes up like the ref does and counts to 3. I believe that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was a no holds barred. I think I was wrong about that.
I can't confirm about the no holds barred.
I can't remember. That I remember two things about it. One, Kane did not do a goddamn thing. He was standing there like a statue. Everybody else, remember that everyone else was fighting, but Kane just stood there for some reason. It was bizarre. It was like he was just the big red retard. He was just sitting there protecting McMahon or something. I don't know. The other thing I remember is the deafening pop when Austin came out. One of the biggest pops I've ever heard in my life. Top 5, top 10 pop.
And same with Mick winning too. I mean, they were just going apeshit that night.
It was a hot crowd.
You would have thought WCW doing what they did would have totally ruined that moment, but it didn't hinder it whatsoever. No, if anything, it helped it.
Yeah, in fact, it had the opposite effect. When they told people what were going to happen, they didn't realize just how beloved Mick Foley was. They didn't realize how over he was. This is a dude who put his body through so much shit through WCW days, ECW days, and then all of the stuff that happened to him within the WWF, the ridiculous storylines, getting thrown off the cage. It all culminated with this, and everybody had to see it. I remember calling people and saying, "Are you going to watch Raw, man? They just said that it's going to happen. Are you going to watch it? Let's freaking, I remember calling people, and everybody switched over to Raw and watched it because they had to be a part of that moment because it was incredible. Mick giving the speech. I got to admit, Vince, this feels pretty good. I don't want to be a sappy guy. But I need to say something to my kids at home. Yo, Mickey, McDaddy did it. Which is I love that. I can't remember what the name he said, but it was great. McDaddy did it.
God, win one for the Micker.
Win one for the Micker. Have a nice day. But it was a great moment, and
DX carried him around and shit.
DX, Triple H right underneath. The guy who would ultimately end his career is the dude under his ass cheek carrying that load. There's so much cool stuff about that moment, which on its own. Now this is where we switch a little bit because on its own that may have not have been enough to sway things permanently. Because after that title win, you see in the ratings swing. I wish I had the graph in front of me. If I was any good at my job, I would actually have the graph showing it minute by minute. It's awesome. As soon as it's over, everybody went back to Nitro. Everybody went back to Nitro.
Well, wait a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the very end of Raw, though?
It was, but Nitro was given extra time that night. Because Turner was giving them all the time in the world. So there was still, the main event had not even actually happened yet on Nitro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
they were doing everything they could to fucking undercut
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And everybody, as excited people were about Mick winning the title, this was Nash and Hogan. This was the implosion of the NWO. This should have been the match that just like set everything off. I mean, Goldberg could have gotten involved. All these things could have happened. And it didn't. Instead, the worst, this is my opinion, it's the worst booking decision in the history of wrestling. This finger poke of doom is what killed WCW. That is my belief. Had this not have happened, had they had an actual match, had they done something that wasn't so egregiously insulting, and I'm like a 15-year-old kid, 16, something like that, and I'm just like, I got slapped because I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" right in front of my mom. And she slapped the shit out of me. I was like,
this goes down to a childhood memory for you.
It was. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because it looked like they were going to lock up, and then boom, a little finger poke, and then 1, 2, 3, and then they celebrate. Oh, the NWO got everybody again. From that moment on, I did not give a shit about the NWO. I was done.
And you were a WCW guy.
I was a WCW whore. I wasn't just a guy. I would let them put copious amounts of dicks inside of me.
Wow.
Because I was such a whore. I went to the Nitro Grill. I went to the Nitro Grill, which was above my mom's restaurant in the Excalibur. It was right above it. I went there almost daily and just hung out.
Where did they have that shit at? In Vegas?
Yeah, it was in Vegas. It was at the Excalibur Casino. It was right above my mom's restaurant, Sherwood Forest Cafe. It was right above it. It was called the Nitro Grill, and it was awesome. It was incredible. Wrestlers were always there. Always. And
I have like a weird off question because I didn't watch a lot of WCW. Yeah. And what did you think of the outdoor arenas that they go to?
Early, I loved it. In the early days when they would do it, like the spring break stuff, I enjoyed it, and I loved the Hog Wild or World Wild. It would later become pay-per-view. I love that.
Well, even like the Nitros. Like, what did you think of that?
Well, the Nitros early because they did it early, and then they stopped doing it for a while. They would always do it during spring break.
Okay.
Late 99, 2000, 2001, late 2000 and 2001, they were exclusively outside.
Oh, okay.
They sucked. They were horrible. But before, back in the day, one of the biggest moments in the NWO invasion happened on an outside episode of Nitro when the lawn dart incident. That was an outside Nitro.
Yeah. That was Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, the lawn darts incident, and that's when Arn Anderson got taken out. Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, they both got taken. It was awesome, and all this crazy shit happened. That was an outside Nitro. Yeah, that was cool as hell. Jimmy Hart, that's right. Jimmy Hart ran to the ring to try to get everybody who was fighting each other to go to the back because all hell was breaking loose. And it felt so real and so cool. But that was what you got from Nitro, and that's why I was so captivated by it. And that's probably why I took the finger poke of doom so hard. Yeah. Because all the work for years that Bischoff had done, that Hogan had done, that all these guys have done to make it feel like, you know what, this is real, man. There's parts of this even if it's not real, it's cool, it's gritty. And then we got a fucking wrestling thing. We got just this ridiculous, complete bullshit wrestling thing, and it bugged the fuck out of me. And it was never the same for me. I was done from that day.
Wow. So you literally, you stopped watching Nitro?
I didn't stop completely, but my time was definitely more geared towards Raw. I would go to Nitro only during commercials on Raw from that moment on. And look, it's not coincidence that it was also during the time where some of the greatest talent we've ever seen was on Raw. All these guys were there just tearing the house down. So I'm sure that had something to do with it as well. But it was awesome. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, why are we doing 2 Mick Foley things in a row? Well, because we decided last week that since we did the first Mick Foley thing, the first big epic moment in his WWE run, why not continue to go and make this a 3-pack? So now we've completed the second leg of that. We've got this moment, which was absolutely epic. And next week, kids, we're going to talk about the third big moment. We'll probably talk about 2 and 1 on that as well. Of course, the SummerSlam main event between him and The Rock, and we'll probably throw in the empty.
Wait. You mean Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Royal Rumble. Jesus,
okay.
Thank you. And the empty arena halftime heat match. We'll probably do them together because
that's another example. Sorry to cut you off. Of,
no. I talk too much. Go ahead.
Heat. Man, that was an example of how big WWF was at the time. I mean, they were competing with fucking Monday Night Football.
No, not Monday. The Super Bowl.
The halftime.
That was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The fucking halftime show.
Well, see, they were smart enough not to compete. They went on during halftime.
Yeah.
They were smart enough they used the momentum of the NFL. And that was smart. But that was just a week after the Rumble.
They couldn't do that in their fucking dreams anymore.
They could. I think they could.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Look, man, the winner of the friggin' Major League Baseball Home Run Derby,
he held up the belt.
Yeah.
I know.
Things like that still happen.
It's still people in sports do that.
It's still very mainstream. It's not like wrestling has disappeared. It's just. I think there's still an awful lot of people still watching wrestling. I just don't know if it's the same type of fan base that was so ravenous for what we were seeing. You know, people aren't going to accept what we got in the Attitude Era right now. Not with all the fucking, as in my good buddies Tommy C's words, the social justice warriors out there. They would never accept it. They wouldn't accept Sable coming out and taking off her shit like that. They wouldn't accept lingerie matches. No way. It wouldn't go down. Now, a transgender person, they wouldn't mind that because that's equal opportunity. That's equal rights. You get Caitlyn Jenner out there and she can take off all of her clothes, or he could take whatever the fuck you want to call him, take off all of his clothes. That'd be perfectly fine because he's just expressing yourself. I don't mean to go on a tangent. I sound like Dennis Miller. I don't mean to go on a rant here. But the latest thing I'm reading is people who associate, because that's the new buzzword, as vampires. There's actually a friggin' movement to have their rights protected and act like vampires and not be persecuted by people. Are you kidding me? If they're actually vampires, persecution's the only way you deal with vampires. You stake them in the fucking heart. If they want to act like vampires, shouldn't we stake them? Jesse, I think that I just found a way to commit legal murder.
Yeah.
I think I just figured it out. Because if they're actually being recognized by law someday as vampires, that means I could stake them. Because you have to kill vampires. Nice touch.
Oh, I was so like, I hope I get this in time.
No, that was perfect. It was perfect. Nice touch. Hey, Abraham Lincoln killed vampires. I could kill vampires. God damn it. So, I'm just saying. You know what? I could see my fate going that way, unfortunately. I think you're going to be the asshole pulling the trigger, too.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Dave, come visit me, man. I can't wait. California's awesome. It's going to be great. Yeah, come on in. Boom! You fat fuck! Thanks for coming to my house, you bitch! I'm dead because Jesse killed me.
We got food for months.
I don't know, officer. The fat guy just wandered in all belligerent saying he's dead on Dave or some shit. I don't know. I was confused.
Apparently.
So I think he was telling me to kill him, so I shot him. I don't know what to say. It was weird. His dick was out? I don't know.
Oh, God. Sure this wasn't Cronin?
Yeah, I don't know. Very possibly. It could be either or.
I'm here.
So any parting shots about that night, January 4th, 1999, that you would like to share?
I mean, I don't know. I think it really did. As much as it was a disheartening thing for Mick in one way, I think in another way, he probably looks back now thinking fondly of it because just it really was one of the biggest things to happen for wrestling. And especially during that time. I mean, who knows what would have happened if that night didn't happen. Sure, it would have still gone on and probably still would have been just as big. But that had something to do with it. That was one of the big nights.
Well, it's interesting when you think of it in those terms, because it's not even as much about what WWE did right. They were doing the right things anyway. So, I mean, that was just another ingredient.
Yes,
it was more
exactly.
about what WCW did to fuck it up. If WCW doesn't do the finger poke of doom, I think they continue to go back and forth.
Quite possibly, yeah. Because I think you got to think a lot of people were like you, and they're just like, fuck this.
Oh, yeah, it was that bad. I mean, Nash winning the title from Goldberg, taking it off of him, and all this, and then to give it back to Hogan in this manner, it was just like.
I gotta ask you, was this before they started doing the NWO Everybody Gets to Join thing?
Oh, the 50 different offshoots, the black and red.
Was this like the catalyst to that?
This was like either right before or right after NWO Red and Black, the Wolfpack showed up. And even that wasn't so bad until Sting went from red and black to white and black and then red and black. And I'm just like, what the? Sting? No, Sting should have been the one guy that never joined the NWO, but he did help.
Right?
Shawn Michaels has joined the NWO, for Christ's sake. Everybody's joined the NWO. It's insane. Ugh. I don't know. The NWO is a victim of its own success, I think, in a lot of ways. Because there was nobody to say too much of a good thing is too much. Yeah, it's... too much of it. Are you smoking weed, Jess? I think Jess.
No, you're right. And there was no. It was everybody was large. Who booked that fucking finger poke?
It wouldn't surprise me if that was I think, was Russo there by then?
I don't know. I thought it was a Kevin Nash thing.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me either. You know, like you talk now and you ask who really had the power, and you had Hogan saying that they didn't have as much power as people said they did. Nash said that's bullshit. We did hold all the cards. Bischoff said that he lost control at one point, but he was still running things. Russo, when he did come in, he was just. Him and Jarrett basically shot their load on everybody. So I don't know. It was a weird situation. Everybody has a different story from that time. That's one of the things that pisses me off too. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. That's all I got. You got anything else?
That's it, man.
I think you just got high during the show. It sounded
I did.
like it. It sounded like that was a toke. It totally did. Because you went. I know that sound. I was like trying to hold it in. Yeah.
I may be in Germany, motherfucker, but I know that sound.
Unfortunately, I have not made that sound in quite a while, but it's hard to find. It's not easy to find here. Well, it would be, but my wife won't go score for me. What's so bad? I just wanted to go outside of a gas station and wait for a couple hours until somebody who looks like they're a drug dealer shows up. I don't think I'm asking that much.
You will have the purple?
Maui wowie, motherfucker. Yeah, but that's all I got. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this, not only right here on Dead on Dave Productions, but also on Joe Cronin Show, because you can find them in both places. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that friggin' like button, kids. You're here. You might as well give me the finger. You know, I'm not going to say stick it up my ass, because that's Cronin's thing, but give me the finger. Give me a prostate exam. Do it. Do it now. And go ahead and hit subscribe on his and my channel, because, you know, why the fuck not? Jesse, as always, you are the man. I appreciate getting.
I don't have a fucking channel.
You don't. You have nothing. You need one. You need a channel. I don't know. But I appreciate you being here, my friend. I hope you start showing up to Dead on Dave Live, motherfucker.
You know, I probably will. I need to just fucking start getting acclimated to that time and figure out, you know, just get myself to it. Because every time you say, you guys can join me, I always say, man, I want to get on there. And then by the time I actually get the text, usually you're already done. So
1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dead on Dave Live, each and every single Sunday.
I'm up for that.
I hope you get there. Because you missed a hell of a show. I got called the man of Auschwitz by Tom.
No, I did hear that. I watched it later. Oh my god.
I called Jaron gay. That was great. I put it in there. I just wriggled it in there so beautifully. Talked about dick pics. It was a strange show. It was a strange show. But it was a lot of fun. Look, I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here with me. As always, running the ropes wouldn't be the same. Wouldn't be a show without Jesse J. So thank you very much. Good sir. And everybody else, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you next time. As always, like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.